Hello Stampers, welcome to another rubber redneck video tutorial. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this fun little Betsy Blossom pocket note. Here is the outside, the little pocket part, and then you just pull on the little note card and it comes out like that. Just a little note, cute little note to give to a friend or a coworker. To create the pocket part, you want to cut one piece of Melon Mambo cardstock, and you want to cut that at 2 3/4 by 3 inches. Take the stamp from Betsy's Blossom, ink it in Melon Mambo, and stamp it all over the cardstock. Once you have that stamped, then you want to score the cardstock at 1/2 inch and then at 2 1/8. So cut your cardstock at 2 3/4 by 3 inches, then score it at 1/2 inch and then 2 1/8. Once you have the cardstock scored, you're going to fold it over on your scored lines, and then you're going to take some multi-liquid glue, just run that right in the center of that little 1/2 inch tab there, and then fold over the other side. Before you fold it over, you want to also add some glue across the bottom. So place some glue along the bottom there, fold over the little tab on the side, and then fold over the next part of the flap, and then just press down on that. And just hold it for a second until it sticks. And if you have any glue, any of the liquid glue that squirts out, if you get it on too thick, just wipe it off with your finger before it dries. And then I'm going to set this aside for a second, and we're going to finish decorating the front, but we're going to let the pocket dry. You want to cut one piece of Lucky Limeade cardstock at 1 1/4 by 2 1/2. Run it through the Big Shot with the Argyle embossing folder. Then cut one piece of Summer Smooches Designer Series paper in the Tangerine Tango pattern. Cut that at 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Once you have that cut, go ahead and apply some glue onto the back of the designer paper, and then place that across the Lucky Limeade cardstock, leaving a little bit showing on the bottom. Then cut one piece of Summer Smooches Designer Series paper in the Daffodil pattern, in the Daffodil Delight pattern. Cut that at 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. Notch out one side, then apply some glue onto the back of the designer paper. And then you're going to attach that towards the top, but leave a little bit of the Tangerine Tango designer paper showing there. And you want the end without the notch to line up with the edge of the Lucky Limeade cardstock. Once you have that glued, then you want to take some Lucky Limeade baker's twine and a glue dot, and place the glue dot on the end of the baker's twine. And we're going to wrap this around the center of the cardstock and the designer paper. So just wrap that around twice, and then once you have that wrapped around twice, just secure the other end onto that glue dot, and then cut that off, cut the baker's twine off the roll. So then the baker's twine will look like that, and then you're just going to go ahead and apply some glue onto the back of the Lucky Limeade cardstock, and then you will place this onto the front of your pocket, the Melon Mambo pocket. And you want the notched end to go on the end of the Melon Mambo cardstock that is glued. And then just place that in the center, and then you want it to go towards the bottom. And that's the front of the pocket so far. You then want to take the Big Shot and the Apothecary framelit dies. Die cut out a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Once you have this Whisper White cardstock die cut out, cut off one of the little tabs here, and then you're going to have a piece that looks like this. Then you're going to cut 1/4 inch off from there besides, And then take your saying from Petite Pears, ink it in Melon Mambo, and stamp it onto the Whisper White cardstock. Take the stamp from Betsy Blossoms, ink it in Tangerine Tango, and stamp it along the side and the bottom of the Whisper White cardstock. Then you will take your Stampin' Pierce mat and the paper piercing tool and the Essentials paper piercing mat pack and just pierce a row of holes along the edge here of the little tab. Once you have that all pierced and stamped, then you're going to slide your little note inside the pocket. And then to finish decorating the pocket, what you want to do is take the stamp from Betsy Blossoms, again, ink it in Melon Mambo, and stamp it onto a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Then cut out the little flower, and then you're going to take one of the 3/8 printed in color designer brads, punch a hole through the flower, and set one of these fun little brads in the center of the flower. Then you want to add a stamping dimensional onto the back, and what I did was I took a pair of older scissors, cut the stamping dimensional in half, and placed one on the bottom and one on the top to give it a little more stability. And then I attached that to the front of my pocket on the right side over the designer paper and the baker's twine. And then to finish it off, I took some Jules Basic rhinestones and I added them onto the tag, and then I added 3 across the top of the Lucky Limeade cardstock. And then that completes the tutorial for the fun little Betsy Blossoms pocket note. Thank you for watching.